Is it good?
Yeah. So hopefully in the next few minutes they'll get this going.
Yeah, hopefully.
In the meantime, let's just talk about how much we hate Junior.
That is true, yeah. He owes me $5. He has not paid that money back.
He hasn't paid you for that $5?
No. Damn it, Junior.
Wait, it happened! It finally happened. Welcome. Oh, I'm gonna echo.
Craig was right. Craig was right. We turned it off and back on again. Go, Craig!
Serena finally joined us, so now we can start the show. We waited for you. Maybe that's not what happened. Welcome to Call It on the Ring. Hey, I'm Kevin Kitchen. I'm joined by Mr. Johnny Parker.
Woo!
We have not done this. I don't know if we've even met before tonight, but
first time.
I've talked about how we have so many different combinations of people that go through here, and here we are. I was going to ask you, you do a bunch of other shows, don't you? Or at least a couple. What else do you do here?
Let's see, I do Henshin Hangout, which is awesome. We talk about Kamen Rider and some of the Sentai series over in Japan and everything like that. I've also done the Power Rangers after show for Ninja Steel, so I popped in there a couple times. And yeah, this is my first time doing wrestling, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
But you know your stuff.
Oh, yeah. I know my stuff.
He knows his stuff.
I know my stuff. Not as much as some of you guys in the chat room, apparently, though. I heard they're legit.
Well, I've been talking Craig up a little bit, just because, Craig, you frequently call me out on my incorrectness. And which you should keep doing.
And he helped just fix our internet issue, so good job, Craig.
All right, Craig, it wasn't the Wi-Fi, all right? Try not to be a smartass.
I'm trying to get Craig's problem okay.
I would want to play the role of Joel Deckelmeyer for a moment and mention that you can go to TeePublic. We have a hashtag store. That hashtag show has a store there. You can find a number of wonderful T-shirts. Oftentimes you will see Joe wearing them. Joe's at his press event right now, so that's why he's not here. But Primetime's here too. Primetime definitely knows this stuff. His or her. I'm assuming you're a he, just because I'm misogynistic. Why don't we go over some of the news? First of all, happy Rusev Day to you and to everyone.
Rusev Day.
Hillbilly Jim is being inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. Hall of Famer.
Chicken Hall of Fame.
He taught us that message. Do not go messing with a country boy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I really wanted to say it. I don't care. I loved that song, and I don't even like country. What else do we have? All In it's not even a Ring of Honor. It's just a completely independent show put on by
Bullet Club.
Yes, the Bullet Club are promoters now of All In. They're going to be in Chicago. They're looking for a 10,000-seater arena. They got it. What is it? It's Sears something. I don't know. It's some place in Chicago, and it holds a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be, I wish I could go. The Sears Center. Well done. Why is center spelled T-R-E as if it was British? What are those Bullet Club? Maybe Marty Scurll put together the thing.
Pretty much. He started typing it up, and there was just like left in when they sent out the promos. I gotta say, I'm actually really excited for this.
Oh man, I wish I could be there.
For sure, because it's like, I gotta say, like, for once, like, I'm excited on two different levels. I'm excited on one level from just a fan standpoint, where I'm like, I want to see the matches these guys put together. There's some of the best wrestlers in the world outside of WWE who are like running the industry right now. So I want to see like what things are going to put together. There's the whole CM Punk mystery. Won't he come back for this? So I'm excited to see how that turns out. But then on another level, I just got to give them the respect. Like in an era we see like wrestlers kind of like disrespected or just like not given their propers by like the WWE or the main company and whatnot. It's great to see these guys like making a name for themselves, promoting, putting their own money in their pockets, being entrepreneurs. I'm happy for them. I hope it does well.
I want them to succeed.
Definitely.
I'm pushing for these guys.
I gotta say, I'm more excited for this than I'm Chris Jericho's cruise. That Wrestle Cruise has me skeptical. I'm sorry. I can't sit through 5 days of wrestling on a boat. It just feels like it's going to smell bad.
You know, that's
after day one.
We haven't actually talked about that much. I mean, is it really 5 days?
It's a while. It's a cruise. It's at least 3. It's at least 3. And after the first time, I'm like, oh, that was amazing. The second one was like, oh, he did the Lost Jericho again. The third night, like, Oh shit! When do we land?
Remember when Jericho and Omega were giving each other shit on Twitter, and everybody was thinking, "Oh, well, it's going to be on that cruise," and it was so much bigger than that.
Oh, it really was. It really was. And I'm happy it wasn't on that cruise. Like, it took New Japan Pro Wrestling to it took it to like a whole nother level and everything.
Speaking of Jericho and New Japan, I guess they're officially done. He just said that on Twitter that somebody asked him, and I guess he's done.
Already?
Wasn't he? Well, I didn't expect it to go forever, but did he? He started up after Omega. He set up a program with someone else. Do you remember who that was? Naito?
Yeah.
Did they have their match?
Nope.
They never followed through in the program?
Because they're supposed to do it at Long Beach.
Huh.
So that'll be happening in Long Beach, hopefully. Well, it was supposed to happen anyway. But that's disappointing because I actually want to see that. I actually want to see Jericho hang around for a while, see what he's going to do there.
Yeah. So also this week we heard about this Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. It's going to have 50 people in it, including Triple H and Cena and every member of the New Day and every member of any clique and any group that is currently in wrestling in the WWE.
Exactly. Like, I got to be real. Like, when this goes live and they start calling names, if I see them called Junior, he walks out, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. Like, at number 47 from hashtag Junior, like, and it just comes down like, oh shit, they met his quota. But
I wonder, I mean, WWE is putting it on their website and stuff like that. They're mentioning, so it's got to be shown somewhere. It's got to hit the network or something.
Oh, like, yeah, because I'll be honest, when I heard about this, I was immediately interested. Like, one, I want to know who's going to, like, I just want to see, like, what are going to be, like, you know, the stakes. Like, if you win this, what do you get? Title shot, pick your own match, blah, blah, SummerSlam, what are you going to do with it? But then another part of me is like, I could have named 50 wrestlers in the WWE to save my life right now. I don't know if they have enough people. Like, are they going to just start recycling people in? Like, are they putting Apollo Crews and he's going to come out again as just Apollo? It's like, he dropped the Crews. He's technically a different wrestler. No. So I'm legit interested to see how this is going to play out.
Tell you what, since we haven't had you on this show talking wrestling yet, and everyone knows all about me, when did you start watching wrestling?
Oh, wow. Well, let me get into it. I got into it, I think, maybe like a lot of like the millennial fans probably got into it, which was probably the Attitude Era. Okay. Like I was just like a casual wrestling fan. My dad and my brother used to watch it. I'd see Hulk Hogan and a lot of the older guys on there. But honestly, it wasn't until The Rock and Stone Cold showed up they just kind of got my interest. Like, do you
remember the moment for you?
Yeah. Oh, well, the moment. So I'm in high school. I'm talking to one of my best friends on the phone. I'm like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, da, 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 da. He's like, oh, my God, you got to turn on wrestling right now. I'm like, what? What's going on? He's like, what's wrestling? Like, what channel? He said, put on the USA. I'm like, why? These two girls are fighting in the back, and one of them was like beating the other one up with an iron. I'm like, what? So I turn it on, and I don't know, it's like some got a backstage fight between, what was Kane's ex-girlfriend name? Who's Tori? It's between Tori and somebody else. They're fighting in the back through each other to mirrors and everything like that. At one point, they grab an iron, and she burns her on the back with it. They have like fake blood and everything. I'm like, holy shit! This can be on TV? Watching it every week. And then I just got pulled into it. And after that, I saw The Rock come out there. And I was like, you smell The Rock is cooking. Pulled me in with his mic skills. And I saw Triple H, saw D-Generation X, Mick Foley. All of a sudden, I'm just like, whoa. And after that, I've been a fan ever since.
Who would you say right now are like your top 3 or 4?
So, top 3 of all time or just currently in the business?
Let's do both.
Okay. Whoo, jeez. Okay, this is no particular order. No particular order because I'm being put on the spot right here. I don't want to put more thought into it. Let me do top in the business right now because of all time I have to put like a little bit more thing to.
Sure.
So currently right now in the business, I'll give you my top of all time at the end of the show. Top currently in the business, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Number 2, Kenny Omega.
Okay.
That man's doing masterful work right now. And number 3, Chris Jericho.
Jericho still.
Yes. I give that man respect. He has literally reinvented himself so many times that when you see a lot of wrestlers be like, well, your time is up, it's time to move on. His time's never up. He's always constantly evolving. He's always going to that next gimmick. He's not afraid to embrace change. He's not afraid to be stupid and put himself out there. And then he gets everything over. Like the list. The fact that he started that and it was like, wait, you're putting people on the list to the point where people are going, list. It was like, you're going on the list. And people are cheering and going crazy for it. And we get to WrestleMania, we see an actual giant list. It's amazing. The man can get anything over. And I have to give a lot of props to him and Kevin Owens because I've took them on number 4 and number 4 probably Kevin Owens. There was a period last year where they carried Raw for a long time.
Yeah.
It was literally the Kevin and Chris Jericho show. So I give them a lot of respect.
Speaking of Kevin Owens, he has a new T-shirt out. I don't know if you saw it, but for his first WrestleMania, he had KO Mania.
Which is awesome.
And then he had KO Mania 2 for last year.
Nice.
And he's got one it's KO Mania 3. And you know the picture of Hogan and Andre?
Yeah.
He's got 2 pictures of himself.
Are you serious?
And one of them is bigger than the other.
Oh my God.
Junior, see if you can find that and put it up for us.
That is brilliant. Okay, I'm buying that shirt. I'm buying that shirt.
I love it. Yes, primetime. He got the word "it" over. That says a lot.
Yes.
If you can just say "it," and
you're
have
going
people...
to get it. It's like how do you do that?
I guess Bobby Fish is injured. I guess his knee is really messed up, which is too bad because I love seeing those guys doing their thing in NXT. Mm-hmm. And I say that holistically, even though, you know what, I'm so busy. I haven't even watched NXT regularly. I just I look at I go to Reddit constantly.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And I just like follow up on it. And of course the takeovers I watch live if I can.
Yeah, the takeovers always get me pulled in for. And his match at Takeover was insane. It was one of the best matches I've seen like in a long time. Like that like hardcore match was just like ridiculous. It's like I'm used to like getting attitude errors and seeing like hardcore matches quickly turn to garbage matches, but that match was insane.
Are you talking about War Games?
Yeah.
They announced War Games is going to be a Survivor Series.
Yeah, they said. Well, they didn't announce it, but it was kind of leaked that we're getting in Los Angeles. We're getting War Games at Takeover, Survivor Series weekend. Very excited about that.
Nice. So I hope Bobby Fish gets better soon.
Yeah, very much so. When were the next NXT tapings? Is it tomorrow or is it? It's tomorrow. Wow. So yeah, they'll probably. Oh wow, Craig's got a good top 5 there. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Elias. Bray Wyatt and the Velveteen Dream. I would say that Bray is the one I'd drop from there. Nothing against him, but the Velveteen Dream, man. Oh, that guy. Did you watch the Tough Enough with Patrick on it?
I didn't watch the Tough Enough, but I've seen what he's been doing in NXT, and I got to give the kid credit. Like, there's a lot of times when I see people's gimmicks, and you see the gimmick the first time, you're like, oh, that's dumb. But you come back like a month later, it's like, okay, this is kind of awesome.
It is weird for me because it is just like, go be Prince.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's cheating. But I mean, I guess that's kind of, what the Honky Tonk Man did.
Yeah, true. And the way he's doing it too, because he can actually wrestle. His in-ring ability is insane. And then the feuds that he's getting into are pretty brilliant. That whole feud with Aleister Black about Say My Name.
That was great.
It's so dumb, but at the same time, so freaking brilliant. And then at the end, he loses, but he still wins because he says his name.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets him over, gets Aleister Black over. It's like, it's great. It was an awesome showcase for both of them.
Very much so, yeah. Craig says that he likes Bray because he's the best talker in the company, yet he's treated like shit. I think... Ryan likes my shirt. Thank you. I don't know if he's the best talker. I don't think he varies it up. I don't think he changes enough for me.
No, I agree with you. I will say this. He is an amazing talker. Because you remember, what was it, 2-3 years ago? We had that match with Undertaker. And Undertaker wasn't on wrestling. And he had to talk everyone into that match every week by cutting those promos. And he actually did it. He sold me on it. Where I was like, okay, I really want to see him go to the Undertaker. I actually think he might have a chance to win. But I agree with you. Like, in the past, few years, it's kind of been like the same old stick. And I think the problem with that is that, like, he has nothing good to work with. He has nobody to play off over, nobody to feud with.
I remember when Bray was first getting big in WWE, and people were saying, man, can you imagine how great it would be to have a feud with him and Jake the Snake Roberts? And you look back and you think to yourself, yeah, that'd be great. But then really think about it. Jake, it's time for you to go. I'm taking over. Well, Bray Wyatt. And you have too much subdued intensity. Too much. I don't know.
The whole time he's like, what? What?
Yes.
What?
Turn it up. Matt brings up something that we were going to bring up, the Ultimate Deletion.
Ooh.
The Hardy Compound is coming to WWE. We saw a clip on Raw. We saw a promotional clip with Vanguard 1.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the boat being dragged, the dilapidated boat.
Was Senior Benjamin in the promo? I was looking for him, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah. Please let him show up. Please let him show up.
Now, they haven't said when and where this is going to happen, though, yet, right?
Actually, I think it's going to be at yeah.
No, I mean like. You think it's going to be WrestleMania? All right.
How do you feel about it? What do you think?
I don't like off-site stuff at WrestleMania.
Really? How come?
It feels less electric to me. I want it to be, live, and I want to feel that it's live.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you watch? Well, you weren't watching at the time. Maybe WrestleMania 12. It was probably just before. It was just before your time, I think. But the Goldust and Roddy Piper match.
I missed it.
Well, first of all, I didn't love it. But second of all, you could tell that it was pre-taped.
Well, yeah, with the whole Bronco.
Yes, they did the white Bronco. Yes. Apparently, Rebecca, Matt Hardy's wife, shot and cut it.
Sure.
What's that?
Sure.
Yeah. I brought that up, Daddy-O. All right, Primetime. Keep it together here. She's a married woman.
I don't know, part of me, I'm a little bit, because, I don't mind off-site match stuff, and with the Hardy compound and, the deletion factor and everything like that, I do really want to see it. But I'm just not sure if I want to see it the way WWE is probably going to do it. Yeah,
and I think they're probably giving Matt a lot of creative direction with this, obviously. Yeah. Or they're letting him direct it. But it kind of reminds me, now that we're in WWE, the Lake of Rejuvenation? Mm-hmm. Where you go in and come back as old gimmicks.
Oh, yeah.
We have more people to draw from that. I mean, if Repo Man shows up, he comes Smash or something. I don't know. That's not going to happen. But I don't know. I don't know how crazy they're willing to let that go. But I mean,
they're saying that now that Borash is there, he's going to help out with it.
Right.
Really?
Jeremy Borash is part of it now.
Oh, thank God. I hope so. Because the problem with it is that some of the stuff they've been doing, they've been trying to capture that magic of broken Matt Hardy, but it's just been. Again, it's been too much of the same thing week in, week out, with him laughing on camera, him there with Bryan, with Bray going back and forth, and sometimes you get to the point where less is more.
It's got to be Vince just has to love that laugh first of all. Right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
And it's it's clearly being overdone.
It really is. And his theme music, I'm not really a big fan.
Oh, I love the theme music.
You love the theme music?
Yeah. I can't do it right now for you because I don't know it, but I know that I like it. The Lake of Reincarnation. Thank you, Primetime. Why don't we hit some more things from Raw here? We got one of our huge matches representing Raw. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I'm excited. I'm glad to see Kurt in that match. I know a lot of people would have preferred The Rock, and I get it. But, The Rock's probably doing 7 movies that day.
Yeah. Waking up at 3 a.m. with his Rock alarm clock and everything like that. Yeah, I'm there with you. I love The Rock. And the thing about it is, if I got the choice, you pretty much take The Rock and put him to any match. I'm I'd rather see that. He's The Rock. But the thing about it is, you're right. He's probably going to be all busy, filming with insurance policies. He can't come back and do the match just like you would want to. But the thing about it is, Kurt Angle's not what I'm worried about with this match. I'm worried about Stephanie.
Yeah, and they'll keep her minimal. And I'm sure her and Ronda are going to go over their spots many, many times in the next, 5 weeks? Something like that. What else did we get from Raw here? Let me, I brought up the Raw review just because I have a very poor memory. The Bar. What about the Bar?
Oh, the Bar beat the Revival. The Revival had a match to get a championship match at WrestleMania, but the Bar came out and served them out.
So who's going to get that title match at WrestleMania?
You don't know. We're going to find out in the weeks to come. And that was the thing that kind of surprised me as I was thinking about it. I was kind of to be honest with you, I can't think of any other tag teams that are around who give them a run for their money right now.
What about Gallows and Anderson? What are they? They weren't on the show, I'm sure. Was Finn on the show? Finn was on the show,
but Gallows and Anderson weren't there.
I mean, we got Balor Club.
Yeah, it's not really a club when one guy's just walking around by himself right now.
Right. And what are the other guys doing?
Exactly.
Back at catering?
Probably. And so, yeah. The Raw tag team division is looking pretty thin right now. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't really like the way this is all being booked out, to be honest with you. I kind of feel that the New Day and the Revival should have switched places at some point, and they should be on Raw. Because if you have the New Day feuding with Sheamus and Cesaro for the belts, now they've had it, they've gone through all this stuff, that could be kind of fun, that could be interesting, could be kids who like get you interested. And honestly, the Revival, their whole gimmick is no flips, just fists.
Right.
They're perfect to beef with the Usos. That would be a perfect feud. Going into like WrestleMania, getting with them going, because they also do great tag team chemistry and use tag team moves in the ring. That would be great to see against the Usos. Because once we get to talk about SmackDown later, in SmackDown, we're kind of rehashing some old matches we've seen a couple times. But we'll talk about that later.
I think Jeff Hardy is better. He had surgery and he'd been ready. I think he's cleared. I think he's ready to rock. I don't know. Maybe just bring him in with Matt as his buddy, like they kind of did with TNA, and then they won the tag titles in TNA as the Broken Brothers.
But that's the thing, though. Can you bring him in because he's doing the the Vanguard one and the whole Final Deletion?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So if they do Final Deletion, because Judy, can we check and see if Final Deletion is going to be a WrestleMania?
I don't think they've announced it yet.
They haven't announced it. So here's the thing: if they do Final Deletion. Not next Monday, but maybe like in a couple Mondays, then we can knock that out. And in Final Deletion, we get the return of Jeff Hardy, which would then allow them like to beat Wyatt in that feud, and then they could go after tag belts. That I could be on board with.
I think that's a great idea. I think, as much as I think the compound should be spotlighted, that match should definitely have it. It should be a built up to make a Raw main event important. Now, will they do that when they want to focus on the Lesnar match at WrestleMania? It's to be seen. Probably not.
We'll see. And then, that's kind of the sad part about this Lesnar match is that they're putting so much attention and focus on this. A lot of the other matches are just falling by the wayside. Like the Intercontinental Championship match. I'm happy it's on the main card. Like, to be honest with you, The Miz is one of my favorite wrestlers this year. He's been carrying Raw, and no matter what brand he's on, like with that Intercontinental belt, he's been doing it justice. But to get this like thrown together match of him going against Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, a three-way, I mean, it's going to be a great match. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor are going to put on a good match. But I wish there was a little bit more story here, and he got something a little bit more well-deserving. Get something to chew on and play with a little bit more.
I agree. I will say that I think we talked about this, I think, last week, how Maurice is due to have their kid like the Friday before WrestleMania. And I think The Miz has said, I'm going to be there for the birth of my kid, period. So I think that's their way to drop him out of the match in case
something like that happens.
Yeah.
Well, can't be mad at him. I mean, I respect him for it. Like, yeah. And he's had a couple WrestleMania moments, so he's not like he's going to miss much.
Yeah, he's got a real life moment that he's
exactly.
going to
like
take.
This is bigger than WrestleMania.
Craig reminds us that Bayley rejected Sasha's hug at the end of a match, and Craig thinks that Bayley might be the one to turn heel. I don't think that's true. I think they're still building up. I think they're saying that Sasha has not officially turned bad yet, and I think it'll be in a couple more weeks. Sasha will try, and maybe Bayley will finally accept her hug again, and that's when Sasha
turns heel,
clotheslines the shit out of her.
So I'm split right now because part of me wants to agree with what you're saying. Like, that's what I want to happen. I want Sasha Banks to turn heel because I feel she works better as a heel, and I feel that the women's division needs more heels because right now they don't really have one. 2, I don't think Bayley could be a good heel because I don't see it in her. So
I think someday she will.
Maybe.
And I think it'll be great.
I hope so.
But not yet.
But the reason why I'm kind of skeptical is, though, did you see what she was wearing this week?
I don't recall.
Okay, so it's like usually, she always wears like the bright yellows and pinks and blues and everything like that. This week, she was out. Her wrestling gear was red and black. I was watching, like, this is the
Bayley?
dark. Yeah. I'm like, this is the darkest I've ever seen you. And then when she comes out, Sasha helps her or whatever, she rejects the hug. Sasha's still trying to rebuild that friendship, but Rayleigh's doing all the rejection right now. So it puts me on the fence. Like, Craig has a theory that I might give a little bit of validity to. Plus, as well, Sasha just did TRL like a couple weeks ago, and so she's still out there promoting the company as their big face and everything like that. So a lot of times, people who they're sitting on television shows, they don't turn heel because they want them to sell the product for them. So she might be getting called that John Cena effect.
That's interesting.
So what I want to happen, I agree with you. I want her to turn heel, but right now the way they're setting things up, they're giving me some doubt, which is great because I don't know what's going to happen. That's good storytelling. So I want to see how this is going to play out.
see what else people had brought up here. There was something very interesting that. Oh, talking about Lesnar. Okay, what did you think of Paulie's promo on Monday?
It was good. You know, it's Paul Heyman. He's always going to cut a great promo.
I thought it was quite good. I saw a lot of people bitching about it, and I'm like, what do you guys? I don't understand the hate on it. I like the word bullshit being used in a promo. I thought
the word bitch being thrown around a lot to the point where it got cut off the air. Apparently.
Yeah, that's. I like bullshit better. Now Roman and Paulie never squared off on Monday, did they, or did they?
They didn't square off like, you know, wrestle or anything like that. But yeah, Roman got to the ring with them.
They were face to face.
They were face to face, and Roman pretty much told him, like, when your client's here next week, tell him to bring his gear. Tell him to come ready for a fight.
Okay.
So I mean, that'll be, and then Detroit when the Raw's there next week. So it'll be interesting to see, I guess. I'm not really sold on this feud with Roman going around calling Brock a part-timer and everything like that. It's just like I don't know. It's not really selling me on it.
Same here, and I think it's a little bit bullshit. But you know, they had this match 3 years ago, and I think they're just trying to do something different with it. I don't know. I'm not feeling it, and I'm not going to feel a lot of stuff that Roman Reigns does.
No,
and
I feel bad for him because it's funny. Like, I was rewatching the Royal Rumble the other day, and it's crazy because, you know, do you remember going back to the Royal Rumble before X17 and before Austin squared off with The Rock and everything like that? And you remember the Royal Rumble? There's that moment where they're both in the ring and they're both at opposite ends.
Austin and The Rock?
Yeah, and they start to get up and they're like looking at each other and the crowd starts getting excited and this electricity and they start to face off and the crowd starts going crazy, and it was an amazing moment. And then this year's Royal Rumble, they tried to tease something possibility of that by having Cena and Roman square off for a quick moment. And the boos were just so unanimous, and the hate was so strong.
It was so much that, and they were they chanting "You both suck"?
Yes, they started chanting "You both suck," and then
that's when John Cena was like, "Shinsuke, attack us now!" So they stopped chanting this shit.
Yeah. Like, it was so crazy. Like, if you look out in the audience, you literally see one guy like flipping them both off, like, "No, don't do this." I was like, oh my God, I've never seen hatred so strong for two people, and I feel bad. Like, Roman has gotten better as a wrestler. I've said this like last week. He's got better as a wrestler. He's got a good look to him. Like, he has a lot of potential, but he's just been booked horribly to the point where the fans just hate the guy.
I just don't want him to be in the main event of WrestleMania. I don't want him to be going for the title in the main event of WrestleMania, and I don't want him to be the guy because he's not the guy.
He's not.
He's fine. He's your fucking B+ player.
Yeah, he really is. And it's because of the booking. Like, it's like there's an old phrase, get in where you fit in. He's trying to get in to the role of the face. He's trying to get to the role of the face of the company and try to lead the way. But the problem is, though, none of the fans want him as the face.
Right.
None of them want him to lead the company. Where he fits, villain, I think people would buy into it more. And then some people would get behind him more. If he was a villain, if he was a heel. But the problem is, though, is that Roman's not the heel. He has yet to play the heel, which I think, going back to your point about Bayley, I think that's what he would do well as. I think as a heel, give him about 6 months to a year playing the heel, he could come full circle and become a face that people would finally get behind. But people need a chance to actually boo him and get out of their system, so they want to cheer him.
So they've brought this up before with not only Roman, but with John Cena, in terms of you've got that 50-50. You got the hardcore guys like us who want to boo him. And if Roman or Cena, let's go with Roman right now. If Roman turns, will it just be the same amount of heat but flipped? Will we be cheering him if he does a good job as a heel?
You know, it's kind of like if he became a heel and he started doing a good job at it, he would be getting that heat, but he would be getting those cheers the way Kevin Owens and Walk with Elias get cheers. Whereas, like, we know you're the heel, but you're doing a damn good job of it, so we're going to give you some applause, too. Because we like The Miz, because we like the way that you're doing this. So I think if he became a heel, he would get that type of, like, crowd engagement where people are booing him, but at the same time, they're cheering him when he's doing the job right because he's making everybody better. Like, Elias, I've got to give a lot of credit to. This man has built himself up over this year.
I love Elias.
This whole, like, I literally, when I watched it on TV, he was like, what does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. What does WWE stand for? walk with Elias. I'm like, this is brilliant. This is great. He's got me bought in. And then he starts singing the song, and people start clapping when he's like playing the song sometime. And to the point where he's like, all right, now let me insult the city. And then they boo. But then they're like, we still love you, though, because you're so good at what you're doing. And the same thing with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is an amazing heel who makes all of the people he goes against that much better. So Roman, if he could do this, I think it would give his character more room to expand. And to be honest with you, people have more fun when they play the heel than when they get ready to turn the good guy. It comes out more naturally. Classic example of this, The Rock. The Rock came in as like the baby face, Rocky Maivia, trying to be like, oh, I'm my dad's son, I've done all this and blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until he became the heel, he started talking to the third person, started raising the eyebrows, staring all the black, that The Rock was actually born. And then later on he becomes the face. He's money.
You know, somebody posted on Reddit in the last week or so the clip of when he went to Hollywood and then he came back. And people were booing him. So a couple weeks later, and they posted the clip of, "Do you really want to boo The Rock?" And do you remember that?
No, I don't remember this.
Oh man, because for me it was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, you're gonna get him. You're gonna get that Rock. and he was finishing off with, "If you smell," and they were all. He was like, "No. Sing along with The Rock is over."
Yes.
It was so good.
Oh, yeah. I remember when he came back to Hollywood, Rock playing the guitar and everything like that. He had gone heel again, and he had a great run. He had a great run as a heel.
And that's when he brought Goldberg in.
Yeah.
And I say he brought because like, he was a big part of getting Goldberg in.
Oh, yeah. And that's the cool thing about The Rock. Like, he gets people over. He gave Brock Lesnar the push, and he gave Goldberg the push.
That was huge, actually.
It really was. I remember watching that pay-per-view because he had just got the belt. Because you remember, The Rock never kept the belt for more than like 3 months at a time.
But that's usually how it goes with the good guys, though, in general.
Yeah, true.
I think, yeah.
True.
But yeah, I mean, he lost to Goldberg, or lost to Brock, and he didn't even get a rematch. I think he was
he would go film some movies and everything like that, and he came back later on. And then the only one who's ever like, well, the couple who had the good guys who have kept the belt and held onto it, like Cena and Hogan. Yeah. But I think that's the reason why the crowd kind of dislikes him, because that's the reason why we say that Roman, the probably reason why Roman hasn't gotten over is because there's no reason to cheer for him because you know he's going to win. When you were choose to cheer for The Rock, he might lose because he would get cheated or something might happen, but you cheer for him because you want him to get out of these sticky situations. With Roman, you know he's going to go,
oh my gosh. How old is it? Feels so, first of all, yeah, it's just, I'm so over it. I'm over it all. It's not something, because he does it sometimes, like in the heat of battle where he has to make a quick decision.
Yeah.
And he still does it. It's like I was trying to explain to somebody, we know that wrestling is what it is.
Oh, yeah, of course we do.
And do you remember the halftime Super Bowl special where it was The Rock versus Mankind in the empty arena match?
Of course, and he goes around beating him up all around the arena and everything like that.
Yes. Yeah. And Mick talks about this in one of his books, how they do one shot, and it's the insert shot of the camera, the point of view of the camera going down on the, the forklift. And people, wrestling fans in their Super Bowl parties who were enjoying the match saw that shot and they were like, oh, this is fake and stupid. It's one step further. It's one step further to slap us in the face.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
So doing this while you're really struggling and going to
it takes away that what's the term, that series of disbelief or whatever.
Suspension of
disbelief. Thank you. Because that's the thing is that when we watch wrestling, we all know it's the same thing. We go see a Marvel movie. We know Spider-Man can't really stick to walls someday. But the thing about this, when we watch it right now, we know he can't. But the thing about this is that it's that suspension of disbelief. And so you watch wrestling, Roman doing this doesn't work out all the time. Him always doing it raw doesn't work out all the time. And so, just...
But I mean, I get it if you just did a big move, the guy's in the corner, and you're getting ready, and you're like, yeah, you're going to get this motherfucker.
Exactly.
But if you're in desperation...
But he does it every match. And the problem is, though, if you think about Shawn Michaels tuning up the band, we didn't get tuning up the band every Monday night on Raw. That was a special occasion saved for pay-per-views. And when he began tuning up that band, we got excited. We were like, please, God, let it hit. Because it misses 7 out of 10 times.
That's right, when you build it, yeah.
Exactly. So with Roman, but no, he'll do this, and a lot of times that punch will still hit.
I'm just looking at these guys. These guys in the chat. Sometimes you get so heated, more heated than I. I guess Matt doesn't. Matt doesn't really like Paul Heyman. Come on, Matt.
So I guess we gotta get back to this promo. So Paul Heyman comes out, cuts this whole promo. Where I gotta admit, I was a little bit weirded out by the fact that he started referring to the belt as Brock's bitch, and then started calling it a her, which I was like, all right, Paulie, you gotta like tone this down a little bit. But then after that, Roman comes out and talks about how he's still a part-timer, and then Paul says you need to be willing to put your life on the line for this belt, and start saying that it's like if you get a call that your father was sick and the day before WrestleMania and blah blah blah, you still show up to WrestleMania, and then the following night you still don't go home because guess what? It's the Raw after WrestleMania, and then guess what? You might not go up there after that because you may be needed on SmackDown. That's what this belt means. You carry this belt, and I was like, okay, but then he doesn't show up for the rest of the year though. Yeah. And that's kind of the problem with Brock. It's like I blame him for. Like, let me take that back. I don't blame Brock for the brand being weak right now, partially because he could kill me. You never know where he is. But the other reason too is because it's the booking. And the thing about it is though is that having your champion not be on the show takes away from it. Like I gotta remember when I used to watch wrestling, watching Triple H come out with that belt was a cool thing. Watching The Rock come out with that belt strapped across his shoulder was a cool thing. It's just like it takes away from that like impact of seeing your champion on there.
And I'm surprised they did it again.
Yeah. I
mean, they did it, and then they extended Brock, and they did it again. And it's like, come on, guys. We want to see the champ. Is that a crazy thing that the fans want to see the champ?
And you know, again, give a lot of props to The Miz. The Miz has been trying to make the Intercontinental Championship work. He's like, I'm going to push the mess out of this. And The Miz, to his credit, has done a great job. But those other belts in the program haven't really been stepping up. The U.S. Championship, I mean, it's there, but I'm not really bought into it because I'm not really invested into it. They haven't even done the open challenge like they're supposed to.
That's right.
Like I give Cena a lot of credit. When he had that belt, first like 2 months, every week was a different open challenge where we got like Dean Ambrose, and then Kevin Owens made a debut, and then Alberto Del Rio came out and like won the belt from it and everything like that. It was a big deal when he used to do that open challenge.
Yeah.
But now Bobby Roode tries to do it, but it always gets to this weird storyline. And then we had Dolph Ziggler literally drop the belt, which took away from its like importance right there. So I guess this isn't that important, but you'll show up in these other matches and everything. So it took away from the prestige and potential you have with that belt. All the work Cena and these guys had done these past 2 years was diluted by that action.
I agree. Is there anything else on Raw that we need to go over? No. Okay, we're going to hop over to SmackDown. Then you watched SmackDown. I was driving here while SmackDown was on. So it started off with, I guess, Charlotte. Charlotte and Bobby Roode was there.
It was a weird promo. So Charlotte comes out, and then as soon as she comes out, she like does a nice little interview, getting ready for a match. And then Ruby Riott comes out with the Riott Squad with 2 T's, so that way they can copyright it.
Right.
And then once they get into the ring and everything like that, Ruby Riott cuts this promo. Was like, you got here because of your father. You got here because of your name. You're favored. You're blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we've seen everyone cut the same exact promo on Charlotte. And then she restores back with the same thing. With the things we seen her say before, I worked hard. When you have this much pressure on you, you have to go above and beyond. And that's why I have gone above and beyond and done blank, blank, and blank. And then I'm like, all right, but there's nothing new coming from here. It's like the same promos we've seen other people come on you day in, day out. And then Ruby Riott says, and that's why I formed the Riott Squad, because when you won this belt and I saw you so proud, I knew you need to be humble pretty much. And so we came here to humble you this way. And then when I saw that, I was like, and you guys just missed on a prime opportunity. Charlotte should have turned to her and was like, so let me get this straight. In order to come humble me, you had to get 2 other women. You can't do this woman to woman. And I kind of left it there and throwing that Ruby Riott's face, but they kind of like missed the opportunity. Bad booking, bad writing right there. So this feud, I feel bad for her because we know Charlotte's going to win, and because she's going to carry that belt to WrestleMania to like another match. Right. So we'll see what happens. But I kind of feel they're like missing opportunities right here.
Randy Orton lost. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. But it had a weird ending too. The Riott Squad gets into the ring. It looks like they're about to face off, and then Bobby Roode comes out, interrupts, and that stops everything. And I'm like, why is he coming out? Is he like, I thought they were going to do some cool like mixed match challenge type deal, but he just comes out and that diffuses the situation, and then we transition to the next match, which is Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton.
Well, yeah, Bobby came out for commentary on that.
Yeah.
So that's why that's how they flowed that together. That makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it is a weird way to do it because it's Bobby Roode is a good guy is so weird to me.
It really is. It makes no sense. I'm like, when he was in NXT, he was one of the best heels around. Like, and he had me buying into it because him wearing those suits backstage and walking around, I'm like, okay, you can say what you want. That's just who Bobby Roode is. That's just him being himself, and he is flaunting it right now. Him as a face is just awkward, and it's like it's a waste of an opportunity because right now you need a heel. If he was a heel who had this belt, I would care more about these matches, and then you can put him against a face. But right now it's just like as like this face, Bobby Roode. I'm like, him coming out to Glorious seems kind of egotistical as a face.
Right? Did you know that music was initially set for Shinsuke Nakamura?
No way.
And he turned it down.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you this: which song do you like better between his and Shinsuke's Glorious?
I think they fit each person pretty well.
I agree. I think they're both amazing. But yeah, they're both awesome songs.
I would listen to Shinsuke's in the car. I would not listen to Bobby's in the car.
Okay, here's the thing. I would listen to Shinsuke's in the car, but before I had a big interview or something big going on, or I'm going on a date that night, I'd be listening to Glorious.
Fair enough.
So it's like the date walks by, like, what are you doing in your car? One sec. Glorious! Hi, my name's Johnny Parker. Prepare to be amazed.
Excellent. Randy lost to Jinder with some chicanery.
Yeah.
Sounds like a match.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anything Jinder's in, I'm just, okay.
I like his music. I like his music a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I would listen to his music in the car.
No, Jinder's like, he has a cool theme song. It's just he's just I don't know what he's just there right now.
Yeah.
Giving him the belt was kind of awkward, and now he's still hanging around. It's just I don't know.
So Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had their little backstage meeting, and Sami once reiterated that, hey, I'm your guy. We get in there. I'm going to lay down for you. You're going to be the champ. It's going to be so great, which, skipping ahead to the main event.
Did not happen.
Did not
happen at all.
Gave him the hoover kick in the corner.
And picked up the win.
So Sami Zayn won tonight's Fastlane main event. But, I mean, this is like, you remember the rule, right? Like, if there's a tag title match on the pay-per-view, on the show before, whoever wins that one-on-one match is going to lose the main event.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Sami, we all knew Sami wasn't going to win Fastlane.
We knew.
But it's nice to give him that little burst going
I gotta be real, though. I'm kind of disappointed they're breaking this up so soon. The Yet movement and everything they've been doing together has been, like, some really good chemistry. And I'm like, Sammy's not ready to lose Kevin yet.
I don't think they're going to lose each other. I think they'll go into this match, and then after Fastlane, well, maybe after Fastlane, they would, because it makes sense to me now that it's going to be Kevin and Sami at WrestleMania.
See, but I don't want Sami and Kevin again at WrestleMania. I'm sorry. I love Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I think they're amazing wrestlers. But haven't we seen this match like 10 times? Like in the span of the last 2 years, they're going to catch up in number of one-on-one matches to Randy Orton and John Cena. They're catching up really quickly. The thing about it is, though, is that they have great in-ring chemistry, but please save this. Save this for like a belt. Put something on them that they're fighting over to give a little bit more legitimacy, a little bit more storyline to it. Don't just keep throwing them in the ring together. Because here's the thing, even at WrestleMania, I mean, let's be honest, they're going to have an amazing match. Because they're good friends, and honestly, for them to have that match at WrestleMania, I'm happy for them because as friends, this is probably like a dream come true for them.
Maybe Kevin Owens, after Fastlane, beats Bobby Roode for the U.S. title, and then they go for the U.S. title at WrestleMania, with the story being that Sami, since coming to the main roster, has not won a title.
Or Sami Zayn gets the title. Sami's like premise, but he's like, you're not taking this from me like you did in NXT.
Two good options. Becky Lynch beat Carmella. AJ Styles talked about how frustrated he was at everything, and Dolph Ziggler came out, and that's when everything went. They had their match, and that's when everything went nuts. I
mean, if we go back to Carmella and Becky Lynch, we do a little bit of prediction here because I mean they just announced Money in the Bank is happening in June, which means it's going to come up to almost a year of her having this Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, she's got to cash that out.
It's getting time, and you know they like to do stuff like that at WrestleMania. So let me ask you this: what's your prediction? What do you think she might cash in?
I think it'll be after WrestleMania.
After WrestleMania?
Maybe it'll be the SmackDown after WrestleMania.
That could be good. I was thinking about it.
We still don't know. Who's Charlotte going to fight at WrestleMania?
We don't know because Asuka technically hasn't chosen anybody yet. And that's what made me start thinking, like, whatever belt she may not go after, that may be the one that Carmella chooses to target. And then I started thinking about, well, if Carmella cashes in, she's not going to cash in on Asuka because they wouldn't have Asuka's first loss be to Carmella.
Right.
That would be like, I mean, all due respect to Carmella, she's really improved her brand over the past couple of years, but she's still kind of green and it's like she's not quite there yet to have that kind of impact. So I'm not sure who she'll cash in on. Alexa Bliss, maybe?
Maybe, but I think it'll be after WrestleMania. And I think that's it for SmackDown.
That's it for SmackDown.
What happened on the Mixed Match Challenge? I know.
We did miss one thing though. The Usos and the New Day.
They had a promo package.
They had a promo package, getting them ready for their match at Fastlane. How do you feel about the New Day versus Usos?
Is it a just straight one-on-one match?
Straight one-on-one match for the tag team titles. But they had been planting some seeds of the, what was his name? The Hammer Brothers.
The Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh yeah, okay, the Super Hammer Brothers. So yeah, they may get involved because it looks like they may want to get up after the belts themselves. So I kind of got the vibe they may get involved with this match and kind of interrupt it, and we may get a three-way at WrestleMania between the three of them.
That's interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah, but I will say this though, I'm loving the promos the Usos have been cutting. Like wrestlers, the Usos have done a great job. They've lost weight. Their new gimmick is amazing, and the promos they've been cutting. Like, I didn't even know this when they cut that promo last week. They were like, "It's been 9 years we've been on the sideline. 9 years we've been in the back. 9 years we've been passed over." And I was like, "Holy shit, they have been passed over for 9 years." But I love the New Day's response though when they come back was like, "We didn't get here on the laurels of our father. We saw what we wanted and we took ours. We rushed the field." And I was like, okay, I got to give a lot of respect to this. Like, so going into it, I hope they get a match at WrestleMania because they're doing some good work. And the Super Hammer Brothers could add to it, maybe.
I love that you call them the Super Hammer Brothers.
That's what they are.
Okay, so Fastlane. Fastlane, we got Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Mm-hmm. Do we even care? I don't think we care.
I think this is going to be a pre-match show, but you never know.
We did find out tonight that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be facing Rusev.
Rusev Day. Rusev Day. Rusev Day.
Big fan of Rusev Day. Oh, when I bought this shirt at Hot Topic, there was a dude wearing a Rusev Day t-shirt right next to me. And he was wearing a Bullet Club hoodie. This guy was down.
Oh, yeah. He knows what's up.
Clearly, Nakamura is going to win that. We got Charlotte against Ruby Riott. I think we can agree that Charlotte's going to win that as well. Usos New Day, we just talked about. And it is, I didn't know that. Okay, so it's a triple threat match for the U.S. title. Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal.
Yeah. Predictions?
I mean, I feel that Bobby's still going to keep it.
Okay. I know AJ's going to keep it.
Yeah, AJ's.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Or either two options. AJ's going to keep it or Cena's going to win it. I think what may happen is that I think Undertaker's going to come back. He's going to interfere to set up Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania.
What's interesting is Joe and I were talking about this last week, and he was saying, "Nah, it's not going to happen." And I was like, you know what? Cena said the words, John. Oh man, I got more to. I wish Joe was here. Nothing against you. I'm going to bring this up in a second. But yeah, I mean, Cena brought up Taker's name. The crowd popped, and he said, "But that's not going to happen." So yeah, I think it is going to happen. And I think you're right. I think that's going to happen.
I mean, he could get the better. We could get a WrestleMania because we've never seen it before. John Cena versus Cade.
Oh,
wow. No, not at all. No.
You did what I usually do. I usually take a serious approach and then I say something ridiculous. Well done. Last week, we were talking about the WWE promoting matches that they know aren't going to happen. Mm-hmm. But Joe was like, no, they'd never do that. I'm like, well, I think they do that. And he's like, no. So I went to Twitter and I asked the man, Dave Meltzer.
Oh wow! Nice.
And he replied, and he said it happens all the time. And then a lot of people started chucking in. And the main one that a lot of people were pissed off was there was a Survivor Series where Stone Cold Steve Austin had a neck injury, and they kept saying Stone Cold's going to be in the match. And then that was when Rikishi hit him, right, with the car.
Supposedly, yeah.
Right.
He did it for The Rock.
That's right. And I think other people had a lot of other things, but yeah, Meltzer says it happens all the time. Mm-hmm. So I win. I finally win one. I've been losing so many things.
There it is.
I keep saying, no, this isn't the way it is, guys, and then oh shit, it's the way it is. Finally, I get one.
There it is.
And Joe's not here. I think that might just about wrap it up. Joe, I'm sorry, Johnny, where can we find you next?
You can find me on, I'll be here this Saturday for Henshin, so check me out there.
What is that again?
The Henshin Hangout. We talk about Kamen Rider Build and the Super Sentai series.
Okay.
So Lupin Ranger versus Pada Ranger, so come check me out there. I might pop in on Ninja Steel, come up and do a review of that episode. And you never know, I'm always around the hashtag studio. There's free snacks. Ooh, I might come in for Fastlane. Come to do the wrap up for that one, so definitely. Oh, you can find me on Instagram at JohnnyP313, Twitter at JohnnyP313, and come give a guy a follow.
Did you enjoy the Oscars?
Oh yeah, fun times. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch them like all the way through. They were just kind of like the background. I looked at the highlights, but I like the winners. Shape of Water, amazing movie. Anytime you have a woman hooking up with a fish, hey. Classic entertainment.
I remember, this is so stupid, but I remember watching that movie the first time before there was like any reviews and stuff like that. And I was watching it, and like in the first 15 minutes, I'm like, she's gonna fuck that fish.
Exactly. But you know what's hilarious? Is like if you watch Ex Machina, the less of Ex Machina is don't try to fuck a robot. But with the lay in the water, his little Shape of Water is like the less of that is you can fuck a fish.
Yes. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Kevin Kittredge. Craig points out at Survivor Series 92 they promoted Warrior and Savage versus Flair and Razor, but I think they expected that to happen. It was just like towards the very end. It was like a couple weeks before. They were like, shit, Warrior's out. And that's where they built Kurt Hennig. That was very exciting.
You can't go around believing those rack sheets. Warrior was injured. You can't believe that this is a rack sheet, brother.
Do we have a match of the week? I don't have a match of the week. Is there a match that you think that throughout the history of WWE and the world of wrestling that you think maybe people haven't seen that they should?
Ooh.
Do you have a deep cut?
A deep cut? A match of the week that goes that deep? Wow.
You don't have to. I put you on the spot.
I can give a promo. If one of my
sure,
promos,
let's do that. Let's hear it.
I got a promo, so you've probably seen it, but for those who may not have seen it, if you want to see a true iteration of the Attitude Era, go back to when The Rock was heel and he was the corporate champ. He cut this amazing promo where he was like, "Let me tell you, brother," and he's like, "Oh no," and then he goes through the whole stick of doing everybody's gimmick. He's like, "No, the great one," and he goes to his whole Rock. Go see that one. That's classic Rocky right there. That's classic Rock at the height of his heelness and the height of his about to become the charismatic champion that he is. So check him out. That's good.
I think you can find that on YouTube. If you do Rock imitates Hogan or Rock imitates
Flair,
Savage. Yeah.
It'll pop up.
Very good.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, it's been a pleasure.
For sure. Thanks for
coming. Absolutely.
Sure. Always a good time.
We'll be here on Fastlane. I don't know if I'll be here after Fastlane, but there's going to be a show after Fastlane to talk about all the results. So tune in.
Hashtag.
Cheers.